Beheneko is a horned-up regression show. It's available on Amazon Prime. If you don't know what a regression show is, Gigak made a really good video about it, which I will link in the description below. But to simplify, unlike isekai, when a main character dies, they come back in the same world, which has the same power system, the same government, the same structure, everything is the same. People that they knew when they were alive can be found in this world. That's basically what regression means. The title of this show is a portmanteau between the words behemoth and neko, and as you may have guessed, the main character reincarnates as a behemoth, which just so happens to look exactly like a little kitten. Now, with that said, I already know that a lot of things about this show are going to put off a lot of people and put on a lot of people, but I'm gonna start with the most controversial parts of it and then move on to the meat and potatoes. This show is really itchy. You get to see breasts rather early on. One of the main characters flat out wants to have sex with a kitten. Now, you may be thinking that this is implied and that that's not exactly what she's saying, but no, she says that and weirds out the cat and the other character around. So if that makes you uncomfortable, this is probably where you should stop watching, because this show is most certainly something that you will not be able to stomach. For those of you who are curious or pervs, let's carry on. Like many other monster reincarnation anime, our protagonist wakes up in a cave. Right away, they start fighting other monsters and leveling up, learning their skills and getting better. But at some point, our intrepid protagonist beats up a lot more than he can chew and ends up getting almost killed by an earth dragon. That's when a really attractive young elf called Arya shows up and saves the main character. She nurses him back to health, and he swears allegiance to her, promising to protect her for the rest of his feline life, I suppose. The main character believes that if people find out that he is a behemoth, or any type of monster, that he would be killed. So he conceals his magic powers. And that works out well for a bit until unforeseen circumstances make it so he has to review his powers, or his master is doomed to a bad fate. Let's put it that way. I feel like I should point out that bad guys and even monsters are very turned on by this elf girl. Somehow that's a plot point. When he does so, he is mistaken by something called an elemental cat, which is not explained, but people seem to accept and think that he's amazing instead of trying to kill him. I would say that the main character's alignment is lawful good, and so is his companion/master. While things may appear to be high stake, I would say that the plot is so predictable that there are no real stakes in this show, at least not in the first 3 episodes. It's a guy who turned into a cat and gets surrounded by beautiful women. There's not that much to it, let's be honest. I'm sure this is someone's wish fulfillment fantasy. From now on, they go on adventures in the dungeon. Both of them get more powerful. They recruit another character, which I'm not gonna say too much about because I don't want to spoil anything. But generally speaking, it's a very bog standard power fantasy. It may be a regression show, but it's not that different from the average isekai. The animation quality is not that great. The soundtrack is remarkably forgettable to the point where I legitimately just don't remember it. If this is the type of show that you like, you know what it is, you know what it sounds like, you know what it looks like, and you know that you want to watch it. If you're into power fantasy and you don't mind the horniness and weird sex stuff in this show, this may be for you. As for my part, is it a good show? Not really. I am really not into it. I find a lot of things about this show to be objectionable. And I watch a lot of anime. I can put up with a lot, but holy cow. I know that people will disagree with that, and that's fine, but I have lines, and I draw those lines sometimes.